been a little while since we've done one of these, but pair standing is back and growing faster than ever. I'm lucky and privileged to have a new friend of mine that I made across the pond out at the pair standing tennis championships in Turin back in June. So decided to give this another go and kind of introduce everyone to some more of the players. And today's guest who's joining me, Georgia Routledge. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. So, hey, why don't you just give us a quick rundown? Tell us a little bit about yourself. People don't know who you are out there.
Yeah. So obviously my name's Georgia. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Norwich in England. I've been playing tennis ever since the age of 6, so 14 years. But I'm very new to the para standing. I only found out about it back in October last year. And I think through that we've sort of found out that everywhere around the world it's sort of progressing, whereas back in the UK I don't think we're quite sort of progressing at the rate as other countries. But yeah, I was really excited to find out about it all, definitely.
It's awesome. So, if it's not growing at the rate that you want it to grow at, you have to do, yeah. You
Yeah.
got to take the bull by the horns, and you gotta get it going. But I was really
Yeah.
impressed, with you, with your character, and kind of drive from when I met you in Turin. And so one of the reasons I really wanted to have you on today was because we need more women, we need more ladies in the pair
Yes,
standing
thank
tennis
you.
movement.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
our numbers have always been small, but I know you all are out there. And so, hey,
We are.
it's time to play tennis. Listen to George's interview here. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on here. And the second reason was, I guess, what kind of really stood out to me was your work ethic. And, before my matches, I always kind of like to break off and I go into a little place and I do my own routine. We all have our little thing that we do, but I noticed you,
Yeah.
what was her name that you were with there?
Donna, my coach.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
noticed you and Donna working very close together, whether it's just playing ping pong and brushing, just stroking the ping pong ball, or just working out and getting things going. So I kind of gravitated to that. That's kind of how I've always had my own personal work ethic.
Yeah.
When it comes to things as far as preparation, and not just with tennis,
Yeah.
it goes to life as well. So I guess when you found out about the parastanding movement and things like that, you said prior that you were just playing tennis on your own. I mean, who introduced you to tennis?
So obviously I started at the age of 6. My older sister used to play, and I used to just sit on the side and watch. And then one day my dad just sort of said, can she join in? And Dawn said, yeah, like, absolutely. And then I joined in. My dad didn't mention that I had a disability. And sort of within, a few moments, Donna kind of thought, there's something a little bit different there. And she went and spoke to my dad, and he was just like, oh yeah, she's got cerebral palsy, but she'll be fine. And then yeah, so since then I've just been playing against able-bodied players, like I think a lot of other people have been. When I was 8, my coach Donna went to the LTA and said, what is there for people like Georgia who don't want to go in a wheelchair, who don't need to be in a wheelchair? And the LTA just basically said, she needs to go in a wheelchair. And I never wanted that. Obviously, my family didn't want that for me either. So yeah, we just decided that I'd carry on playing as I was. But obviously, as I got a bit older, the court gets bigger. So Donna gave me 2 bounces so that I could compete sort of a little bit more equally against able-bodied players.
Right. Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. And, good job for you and for your parents, especially. It's always great to have a solid support system, keeping you involved in
Yeah,
something. But yeah, the 2
definitely.
bounces, I guess that's something that, rule change, they always take time, going into effect. But I guess as we've been growing this category of play, it's come up quite a bit. And, I'm all for it.
Mm,
Just in the past, we just did 1 bounce and played that way. But I know a lot of us players that would maybe need the 2. So I got the best, I guess, analogy or kind of description from a guy in the United States. He's one of the head wheelchair tennis coaches for Team USA. So he was kind of describing to me when wheelchair tennis started initially that the reason that they implemented the two bounce rule was because of technology, right? That at the time the wheelchairs just couldn't keep up to where you could get it on one bounce. But since all this R&D has come out and wheelchairs been around for a long time, that now most players only take the ball on one bounce. So
Yeah.
sometimes people do look at it in the beginning like, you know, hey, like I can play with one bounce. I don't need two bounces and things like that. But I think over time we're going to see that progression going from, you know, what you see or what you saw happen with wheelchair tennis to where, you know, it was out there as something to where, you know, it would help people to be able to have a longer match, be able to train with less injury and, you know, things like that. But, you know, I think that we'll really progress in that, you know, general direction. So, you know, we'll see. But in the meantime, it's always one of those where it's, you know, but yeah, you just concentrate and play tennis and have fun, you know, and
Yeah.
and it's all good. So
Yeah.
outside of tennis, what are you up to right now?
Well, so I left college 2 years ago, and I was sort of in and out of part-time work. I currently don't have a job, but I have been doing some tennis coaching with my coach as well. But other than tennis, I love going to the gym. I go to the gym 5 times a week. I'm really into food as well. I love cooking.
What's your favorite dish you can whip up?
Oh, good question. I'm gonna have to say fajitas. I love
Oh,
fajitas.
do you? Oh, you have to come to, you got to make your way down to Texas and get some Tex-Mex.
Yeah,
But
they might put me to shame.
no, I'm sure you do a great job. I still need to make it out there one day. You know, have it on my map to get out there to
Mm,
England and to explore a little bit through tennis. So we'll see what happens. But I guess as a new member with the para standing movement and seeing where it is right now, like we're really going. We have some great leadership through, you know, the guys in Europe, Ivan, Greg, everyone, Patty here in the
mm,
U.S. is doing an amazing job. Nathan out in Australia, several of us in the United States. Let's say right now someone's watching this and they're kind of like, wow, Georgia's story kind of resonates with me because I have a family member or I have a close friend or someone that I know that's like Georgia, that for such a long time, people have been concentrating in this category as like amputee wise, right? Like
yeah.
you see a lot of amputee photos, but people don't understand and realize that parastanding tennis is for anyone that has a physical disability or impairment. And we need more cerebral palsy players as well. So if you could just like reach out there and talk to one person or just like get one person's attention out there, what would you tell them as far as your like from your journey to get them inspired to be able to contact you and be like, hey, I want to play too?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I hope that anyone would contact me, you know, if there's any questions. But I think the one thing is just you've just got to get out there and play. You sort of never know until you've trained and you've competed and you've played like a proper match. You just never know how much you're going to like it. And I just think growing up, I've always been into loads of different sports, and I've realised how much that's benefited my disability. So I think it's really important for me. I want to be able to show other people that and help other people find that sport does actually really help them.
No, yeah, good answer. Because I know it's one of those where some people don't like getting out there because they don't want to be, you know, viewed or labeled, you know, disabled, you know, going
Yeah,
out and playing tennis and things like that. But I think that stigma is really kind of starting to break. One
yeah,
thing I've always been curious and what I like to learn more about is other cultures and their view on disability. I know how we are in the States and some other countries through tennis. That's benefited me as well. But as far as like things in England, I know that they said initially that there was no pathway. Then you learned of something, and now I guess the ball's in your court per se as like the first English para standing tennis player. Um, how do you see growth in your country, and how is disability viewed in that area? Are people open to this and saying, "Hey, why haven't we done this sooner?" Or like, "Brilliant."
um, yeah. I think it's difficult. Obviously, there are quite a few people who I've met in the UK who, like me, have been playing tennis for a long time against able-bodied. And they are definitely really excited about it. I think me and my coach John have been trying to obviously push the LTA a lot, trying to keep them updated with how us and all the other players are doing in the country. And we had the first para standing tournament in May this year, And I think there's potentially a couple more towards the end of the year, which is quite exciting. But I do still think that, you know, we could be doing a lot more to progress it, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing real positive that came out of that para worlds in Turin was being able to have that large assembly of players and connect people. We all know people from around the world. I have a lot of people that I know actually from England that I'm probably going to be shooting your email address to, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, because they're kind of asking me the same thing, like, hey, what's up? What's up with that? You know, like we see you guys doing it, but why can't we? So that's exciting to hear that tournament coming up in May. You know, best to you guys there. I'm gonna hope to be able to, you know, get out there. But no, I mean, I think that you just hit it on the head that people just need to get out there and do it and become exposed to it. And so, you know, I know when I was passing by you in the hallway one time, you know, talked about things and said lead by example. And I think you're doing a really great job doing that. So,
thank you.
You know, it was really, oh, no, thank you. I mean, it's a lot of thank yous that go around everywhere. It was in the beginnings when we were kind of getting things going, and this has gone back even before I really got, and I was just growing up playing, you know, as an amputee. But I mean, this has been taking shape for many years, and it didn't really start to gain traction until, you know, a certain time. But now it's just really just an amazing thing to see. And so, you know, I think I told you lead by example. I think you're doing an amazing job, you know, doing that. So kudos and keep rocking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, I saw you playing one match. I was playing my mixed doubles, which Jenny and I are going to have to get back on the court next year. We got hosed. Yeah, I felt so bad for her. Like sometimes they just kept hitting the ball at her, and I almost wanted to tell her, "Hey, just go to the side. Just let me just go." You know, Australian doubles kind of thing. But I saw you in a pretty intense match with Martina. How'd that go down?
Yeah, it was. So we'd actually played like a few days before in Barcelona at the Europeans. It was obviously that's the first time we've ever played each other back in Barcelona, and it was such an even match even then. And it was Turin was basically a repeat. So she beat me in Barcelona in the match tiebreak 10-8. And then it was literally the reverse in Turin. I won 10-8. So we are literally just, so close. Couldn't be any closer, really.
Got a great rivalry going on
yes,
now, yeah?
Definitely. It's exciting.
So are you guys cool off the court and things?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Because, there can get to be that competitive bug where you want to win, you're there on the court, you know, and you give everything your all. But it's always good at the end of the day we can come together and just say, hey, you know, that was a game of tennis. We battled it on the court, and now we can hug it out and go, let's go have a meal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, especially with getting more women involved. I think it's really nice when you've got, you know, the friends around you and the support around you. So, like when you're on court, obviously it's different, but as soon as you're off court, you know, you're all friends. And I think it definitely helps, especially as a woman. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but I think it definitely helps me for sure.
No, well said, and we'll end it there. We should call this the women's edition, and we'll keep doing them because we really need to add numbers here. And so, you know, hey, I'll give you a round of applause. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. You're an amazing young woman, and kudos to Donna for all the work that she does with you. But you know, I look forward to doing some more of these and seeing you back out in the tournament and seeing what you're up to. So, you know, thanks for coming on and chatting a little bit today.
That's all right.
Yeah, we'll do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
All right. Well, hey, it's good seeing you. All the best and take care until next time. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. You too.
All right, guys. Georgia Routledge.
Thank you.